how do we then turn on our DNA to realize the full potential of these bodies that are born into? And
How do you turn on the DNA?
Correct.
That's a good question. Very good question. People have been asking this forever, but it's a good one to repeat. Some are not worth it and some are. The energies of the times are actually switching on the DNA if you make room for it. And the more you busy up your life with stuff to do, and you fill your head with moving pictures of confusion and nonsense, in other words, the more you want to be entertained electronically versus being informed, no matter how much energy is coming to you, attempting to switch on the DNA, it's not going to be as effective as if you say, I'm going to catch it. And so what you need to do, all of you, is to have time where you are doing nothing. And we give you permission to do nothing. For some people it's very frightening. And for some people it's very liberating. You mean I have permission to do nothing? Yes. Make a cup of tea, get a glass of wine, something, make a kombucha drink or a shake or whatever. Go sit down. No electronics. Relax. On a porch, on a lawn chair, take a blanket to the beach, walk to the park, and just watch. Just watch and see what happens. It's boring, of course. You can take a book if you want to. You can sit with a friend. But when you do nothing, you make room for things to happen. It's very good to do nothing in the sun for a little while. You don't have to be directly in the sun. You can be under an umbrella on a chaise lounge. That's a wonderful picture. You have your iced tea next to you. You might have a good book to read or any other accoutrements that satisfy your moment. And you relax. And you squeeze your toes together and squeeze your fingers together as tight as you can. You make a face and then you say, I am allowing all that is and the energy of the multiverse to move through me. And you take your shoes off. A wonderful way to activate your DNA is to walk barefoot on the earth. It will ground you. It will help you integrate the cosmos and the earth. Barefoot on earth is a wonderful way to activate the DNA. And then when you are doing nothing, you can think about, what would you like to bring forward? What would I like to be able to do? Wow, I want to be a good speller. I've never been good at spelling. I think I want to call forward good spelling. It may sound foolish to some of you, but for someone it might be very important. Or whatever you want. You want to be a better cook. You activating the DNA is going to give you the confidence to perform skills and tasks and to have great enjoyment doing it. Activating the DNA is going to allow you to be more fully human, using the energy of all your chakras, especially your heart chakra, while you become more aware of the larger story of existence. That's very important. But most important is the quality of life that you live and the quality of the love that you share with those that you live with. The quality of that love is why you come here to earth. You all come for love. Oh, many of you have missions, purposes, but you all come for love. Because love in the ethers is not the same as love on earth. And this is what the Anunnaki got trapped into, you know. Big sex thing on earth. This is the big sin. Of course, you know today you send an archaeologist out or anyone out to study an environment. They're supposed to observe. They can't bring other species in. They're not supposed to go out and have affairs with the natives, these kinds of things. They're there to study. As soon as you start playing around, you change the experiment. And of course, this is the big sin that even the Catholic Church is still sorting out, that these fallen angels, allegedly Nephilim, which Nephilim is just another biblical term used to describe the Anunnaki. And then within the Anunnaki came this story of fallen angels. Basically, those fallen angels, one could say in the vernacular, you have a term on your world called horny, yes? Which means you're getting riled up. Your hormones are juicy. You want to have sex. These Anunnaki, they wanted sex after a while. The males, they saw the females of Earth after many millennia have passed, and they broke the big taboo and said, the guys on Mars, basically, Enki did it first, actually. Then the guys on Mars, the Igigi, as they are called. These are the fallen ones, supposedly. And then through them, the race of giants was born, but they were giants themselves, and so it goes, so it goes. So you are still sorting all of this out today. It's important to understand that. Yet, the quality of life that you live with the one you love, or the loved ones that you have, the way you treat your parents, the way your parents have treated you. Of course, you could cringe a little bit on both ends at times. You are humans, you make mistakes. But ideally, what you teach each other and the comfort that you offer each other, think about the things that you were taught. How to do this, how to do that. This is the quality of life that enhances your DNA. When you pass on valuable skills, and when you love the earth, and would not do any harm to earth, this is the advancement of your DNA. Who has a good question?
Peace, this is Asha.
Asha, welcome.
I have a question about, you talk about between lives and how we choose the person we come into and the environment, etc. I'm curious, you may have spoken of this before.
And so just to repeat, she is asking about between lives and how we choose which reality to incarnate into. Please continue.
As a person is pregnant and as the being is forming inside of the body.
Yes.
What is the choice then of the soul coming in to enter, not enter, it's not what I want? What goes on there? What are the circumstances?
They can be as varied and as gentle or extreme as there are types of people on the planet. Some are very clear. Boom, boom, I'm in. This is the line I want. I've been here before. I am returning to my ancestral line. I tend to reincarnate into it every 100 or 200 years. I'm following this line. Boom, I'm in. They're established. They're this. The greater sense of consciousness in a soul, the greater accumulation of consciousness, the greater flexibility and choice. If a soul comes in and blows it and does really, really destructive things to themselves, to the planet, to other people, the choices are not going to be that grand. And they may have to wait for a qualifying slot. And the oversoul or the grander soul may give them a shove down the slide when the time comes. In other words, there's your birthing oven. This mom and dad, they're getting ready for you. And sometimes the soul says, I don't want to enter. Or I don't think I can handle this, I'll just go in for a little while. Every event has a purpose. And this is why we say to you, don't cheat, don't lie, don't steal, do good acts. It's going to benefit you in the long run. It's going to give you a greater dignity of the kinds of life you qualify for. When you mess up, you go back to the back of the line. You end up scrubbing toilets. in the ether. And then you qualify for starting all over again. Do you understand that?
Yes.
The very best book to read on this is called The Education of Oversoul 7 by Jane Roberts. Anyone read that book?
Yes.
Yes. And in that book, oh, there's the beeper. There was Tweety. She was going to be born. She didn't want to come in. She wasn't sure. She was reluctant. This helps explain to some extent pregnancies and why there are miscarriages and things of this nature. Your doctors will focus it solely on physicality or diet or some kind of poisons or something, but there's large cooperation between the spirit world and physical reality. And often the mother and father will dream for a while and work with the incoming soul in the dream state before the pregnancy begins. And then certainly after the pregnancy begins, there's a long-term dreaming. Some women may take a long time getting pregnant because of, in today's world, they won't slow down enough to make a nest. And the souls don't want to come in because they can see they're going to be cooked. And then they won't be healthy. Young women today think nothing of sticking their cell phones and their computers right up against their baby bump. And they're microwaving their babies. You see why the reluctance there is of some souls to come in to the wealthier worlds now? And why the souls may want to come pouring in if they want to be here in less wealthy clients, because they're not as exposed. Yet today it's everywhere. It's difficult. It is going to be more difficult to come in healthy as a baby. Absolutely. Because today the mothers may have the healthiest drinks, and they may jog and do all this stuff, and then they toast themselves with electronics. And so there's no common sense. It's just trendy cool, trendy cool, trendy cool. I'll just do what everyone tells me to do. Where's the common sense? Where's the grandmothers and the mothers passing on the knowledge of the ages? Where's the grandfathers and the fathers passing on to their sons? Hey son, you'd better protect the family jewels. Laptops. What do you think laptops do? They toast your lap. Right? Nobody's answering because you've all been guilty of it. You see why we are frustrated with you? Because you do stupid things, then you want answers to fix the stupidity without changing the behavior. Someone gave that's good. It's time to face up to some things. You can produce still good life, but you better really clean up your act. As we've said for years, it's very difficult now for babies to be born clear and healthy. You have this huge autism, and then all of this ADD, ADHD, all these letters. People can't focus and pay attention anymore. They can't think. And then you have the Alzheimer's at the other end. They're not clear enough to know how to die. So then they become part of medical experimentation. Think about these things. If there's one important thing we all want to get clear about, it's that when it comes time for you to leave the planet and you are finished with your job, you want a clear, clean, easy exit. No muss, no fuss, no big expense. Understand? That's conditioning your space. But in the meantime, that's a long way off. What's most immediate are the growling stomachs. It's lunchtime. Now we want you to write out a little intention on your lunch hour. And then we want you to discuss with others, whoever you're going to lunch with, what the churches, the religions may have hidden away. Just psychically, and we'll see this afternoon what you come up with, all right? Let's lift the vibration up and pick up the energies really good and have a good time. We'll see you this afternoon.